If I write a Hallmark movie, what are the over/under on the Jonas Brothers starring in it if I make Meridian Hall a part of the package?
Honestly, high.
Okay.
Welcome back to season 2 of Late Night Scrolling Canada, the pop culture podcast. Y'all, this episode was supposed to be to encourage you to get tickets to the Dropout Improv show happening at Just for Laughs tomorrow night, September 27th in Toronto. But as we were recording this interview, and you'll hear me say this to Vic, I saw the amount of seats available drop from 4 to 2 to just 1 available. And probably as I'm recording this intro, that seat is sold out. So if you want to see the show, I don't know what to tell you. I think it's sold out. But if you do have a ticket to go, you are in for a treat. This is a show that I saw in January in New York. It is a full improv show with improv games that match the same chaotic energy you get from Dropout TV. And I know that some of y'all follow me specifically for Dropout content, and this won't be news to you, but some of y'all are like, what is this show and how did it make it into Just for Laughs? So for those of you new, let me set the scene for you. So I'm positive that y'all remember the days of BuzzFeed taking over the internet, right? Like back in the 2010s, you'd be scrolling through your Facebook and you would see the Try Guys, you would see all these videos that would be so viral on Facebook and YouTube. Which means you probably also remember what was happening on YouTube at the time. One of the biggest YouTube accounts of all time was called College Humor, and I know that that raised a flag in your brain, okay? College Humor really set the scene for sketch comedy on YouTube in the 2010s and is such a reference point to all of these comedy troupes that we have still surviving on YouTube and evolving into their own private streamers today, like the Try Guys and Second Try, Smosh. This is the same universe, okay? From College Humor emerged Dropout, which is the 2.0 version of this incredible company. It's its own private streamer with shows that are making huge runs for Emmys, including Dimension 20, which is a Dungeons and Dragons tabletop role-playing game style show, which is one of my favorite shows of all time. And then you have shows that really give the essence of like a Drew Carey style Whose Line Is It Anyway, like Make Some Noise and Game Changer. And a very special show called Very Important People, which has broken the internet time and time again. And if you follow me on any platform, you've seen my interviews with the cast of Very Important People at the Canadian Screen Awards earlier this year. I got to talk to Lisa Gilroy about her time on the show, which was one of my most viral clips of the year because y'all know Lisa Gilroy and Vic Michaelis, when they are put in an improv scene together, it is like truly Canadian Comedy Hall of Fame worthy stuff happening. When we're looking at the voices that are defining like millennial Canadian comedy, Lisa Gilroy and Vic Michaelis are two of the biggest names that we have. So in this conversation, I talked to Vic about all of it, about working with Lisa Gilroy, about bringing this show on the road to Just for Laughs across Canada. And if you get to go to the show, please let me know how it is. I'm so sad I won't be there with all of you, but I know how good of a time you're in for. It was one of my favorite shows that we saw while we were in New York, and we saw a lot of shows that week, especially dropout shows. I think we went to 3 dropout shows that week. It was insane, and this one really stood on its own as a true testament to what improv comedy can look like for 2025. So I'll let Vic tell you all about it. Enjoy this interview. Alas, I'm not running with
Heartbreaking.
you, but that's
What
fine.
happened? Do you
Next.
hate us? Are you mad at us?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, once I heard Jeremy was going to SNL and
Done.
wasn't going to be a part of it, I was like, that's enough for me,
Yeah, you
actually.
sort of have been saying over and over again, as soon as Jeremy's done, I'm done. And I was like, okay, that's
Yeah,
fair. I get that.
I'm sure you've been hearing that a lot lately.
Yeah.
Jeremy's now off to the East Coast and everyone has to revolt.
Yeah, he's sort of the Regina George of Dropout.
And that's always what we've said.
Yeah, Jeremy went to the East Coast, so everyone went to the East Coast. I get it. I get it.
I love this for him. I don't like it for the Toronto crowd that was looking forward to seeing him, but I think we're all looking forward to seeing him on SNL though. Can you just give me like a behind the scenes into whatever chaos unfolded when that announcement came out? Because I couldn't help but wonder just how many group chats lit up at the news.
It's like, I feel like, especially with the LA comedy scene, every couple of years we get somebody, we get a win. And it really did feel like Jeremy has been such a staple of the LA comedy scene for as long as I've been there. We came up on indie teams at the same time. He was my economics tutor, like in a real way. I was failing economics and he took economics in college. And so he was my literal tutor. We spent a lot of time looking at old photos on Facebook. That was, it's a big part of our studying. He offered to take my tests for me, which I feel like I can say because he's sort of successfully not having to tutor economics anymore. But it really, outside of being just like a huge personal win, felt like a real like testament to like the community working, like it felt like a big community win. It like was very exciting. I don't know anybody more ready for a job like that, and it's been his dream, and I am just so unbelievably thrilled that my friend is getting to live his dream. It's really unbelievable. I can't stop smiling. Sorry, I love my friends.
It's almost as good, if not better, though, when it is a friend that has their dream come true, and then you just get all the space to enjoy it for them. You know what I mean? Like, it almost feels as good.
Yeah, it just like it genuinely is like, especially the comedy community, and I guess LA is my big experience with stuff like this happening, but it is, again, you watch people perform and do such excellent work for so long, and then to watch that get recognized, maybe it's just like me getting older, but it really is like, it feels incredible. It really is amazing. He's so deeply deserving of this, and I think he's going to thrive.
Love. Oh, well, I'm excited to see how the season unfolds. I'm sure the commentary online will be as good from the Dropout community as like watching him on anything else. Like, I think we're primed and ready to make the most of this. But I know, like, because he's not doing the Dropout Toronto show, I thought you very smartly invited people to throw Tim Hortons on stage at you guys as like part of your welcome to Meridian Hall.
Well, this was sort of me selfishly being like, am I going to have time to get dinner before the show? Let's maybe sort of stack the deck in our favor. I feel pretty good about it. It's sort of like I keep trying to push that we're the Rocky Horror Show of improv comedy, and Dropout keeps saying we're definitely not. Stop saying that. And but I'm trying to get it going. I think if they can see it happening in practicality, they'll be like, yeah, that's it.
Well, I've seen the show. I saw it in New York in January, and one element that you specifically bring to the show that I think fans can look forward to, can kind of find that connection in, is you loving going into the audience.
It's so
I feel like
fun.
you really are bringing that element so forward in a way that everyone can learn from. But are you like scouting out Meridian Hall and being like, that rafter, that seat, that aisle?
So my like kind of behind the scenes stuff with that is we do, during sound check, I do spend a lot of time going like, how far can I get out into the audience with this mic? If I do this, can you hear me? Is somebody going to get mad at me? Because there's also, I think, like, especially in these huge houses, they're big union houses, and like unions are so deeply important to me, and I don't ever want to be disrespecting workers. So I want to make sure that like everybody, even though it's like improvised in the moment, that like I'm not, even though like maybe I'm like playing with the bounds of like the other performers in the audience, that I'm like playing within the bounds to make sure that like nobody's gonna get in trouble that works at the venue.
Obsessed. No, and that's the way to do it, right? Like, creative constraint, that always makes the best comedy.
Figure out where the box is.
Exactly. And I think like, the Jonas Brothers also just kind of did that. They were filming in Meridian Hall earlier this year. So if you do anything that makes anyone mad, you can just say, well, the Jonas Brothers did this.
I love that. Was that for Camp Rock? What were they doing there?
They did a Christmas special in Toronto, and the finale of the show, or the movie, was filmed in Meridian Hall.
Has it come out yet?
It's coming out this Christmas.
Okay, huge.
For you.
What do you
so
think?
You can just blame them if anyone gets mad at you. Be like, no, I was just following what
If
Nick
I
did.
write a Hallmark movie, what are the over-under on the Jonas Brothers starring in it if I make Meridian Hall a part of the package?
Honestly, high. Honestly, I feel like this is very realistic.
Okay, do you want to play yourself in it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
You got me.
I'll write you a
No
character. It's going to be a
problem.
lot bigger of a character than you're anticipating based on this conversation. It's kind of a main character role.
I'm
You booked.
so ready.
Congratulations.
Oh, thank you so much. I actually did want to ask you about, you just had an incredible pitch on Smosh with Shane and Angela about a show, about a theater troupe that only performs to oil sand workers in Alberta. Vic, when you said that out loud, I went, don't let CBC hear that, because
Did
they'll
I
actually
say
bring
that?
it right now. actually said that. It was a few weeks back, and it's the only note I had for this interview was ask Vic about oil sand CBC comedy show.
Well, I mean, like, I'm so curious. I mean, like, I think you're younger than me. I'm so bad at guessing any kind of age.
We're both 25.
Yeah, we're both 25. So I mean, like, I wonder if this will be your experience. So I'm like, you know, I'm a little bit older, and so like, I was at a time where like a lot of people that I knew that were like looking to make money fast, like, headed out, and then obviously with like the collapse, you know, I don't know if they are like, if people are still doing that, but it was like, it was this kind of like crazy phenomenon of people going out there. I honestly, okay, we should write this. Liz, write it with me. Liz, let's write it.
How is this not been greenlit? CBC is why you're in Toronto, right? You're pitching it tomorrow at HQ.
I'm pitching it. I want a CBC Gem show so bad it's not even funny.
My dream. I think honestly CBC should pay you every year for 10 minutes of your time and you just speak ideas and they greenlight all of them. Like, where is that contract? Because everything that you pitch is so deeply like that niche that they go for.
And it's all Canadian specific. I'm literally dying to go. I want to have a reason that I can come home. That's it. I want a reason that I can be home for a long period of time just filming something. So
we will take it offline. We'll take it offline and we'll get you a CBC Gem show for 2026.
Liz,
honestly.
You get a finder's fee and producer credit.
Can we talk about Lisa Gilroy?
Yeah, always.
Yeah. What the hell, Lisa, sending you to hell on WestJet?
Oh my God. This is so full circle because I remember that clip of you asking Lisa about this at was it the Canadian Screen Awards?
Yeah, at the Canadian Screen Awards.
And now you're asking me at Dropout headquarters, as I'm also in Toronto. Was that in Toronto?
Yeah.
Well, real full circle moment. Except I noticed that you did fly out for Lisa and sort of we're doing this on Zoom.
And again, Jeremy is to blame. We could also throw Sam in that, but for another day.
Yeah, so we'll sort of we'll double combo it. I think that's good, and I think both of them owe both of us compensation.
Promptly.
Did you hear that?
And that's actually Sam's security coming to end the call.
Yeah. That was Audrey, the producer, going cut that part. I adore Lisa. She I think is just somebody that like makes me like, I think there's just people that like make you excited to do comedy. Not that, you know, like getting to do improv in general is very joyful, but also like, I think for me at least, there's a lot of math involved in doing improv, and that's part of what I like about it. There's a lot of like point A to point B. We talked about this, we got to bring this back, and there's X amount of time we have to bring it back because, you know, comedy is timing, comedy is pacing, and so like searching for those openings. And with Lisa, I really don't ever think about any of that in a way that I don't think works all the time with everybody, but with Lisa, it's just like, I think I have so much inherent trust with her, and also she's just so brilliant. It is like, it really is, yeah, she's one of my favorite people to improvise with on the planet.
You really felt that in that episode specifically, how whatever, if you could even say there was like a plan for the episode or a script for the episode or whatever the beats were, you could just feel the way the two of you had that chemistry that made it go in such a specific direction that it was like, yeah, that's our season finale for sure, without a doubt. This is a whole other level.
Well, it was like we went into it too. She was the last episode that we shot that season, and there was like a moment where like I had this idea that I had wanted to end that season for that arc, for this like 3-season arc that we have with me quitting the show. And I sort of had this moment at the very end of filming that episode where I was just like, hey, I kind of want to try something. Are you okay with it? Like during a break. And she was like, oh yeah, I'll follow you anywhere. And then like literally that's how that end moment happened. And it was perfect. She's perfect.
So good. She's perfect. We love Lisa Gilroy here. I'm excited to see whatever you two decide to do next together.
Hey, thanks. Appreciate it.
Are you willing to address the controversy that Lisa's on 2 episodes of Make Some Noise this season and you were too famous shooting a show and could not be on this season of Make Some Noise?
So the controversy is that you got Lisa for 2 episodes.
And you for none. The fans want to know, what's that about?
My comment on that is I am not allowed to comment at this time. And you'll be getting a cease and desist.
Because Sam's security is right behind you.
Yeah. Again, they're going, cut this part. No, I really wanted to come back. I spent so long trying to work it out. I had it carved out to be able to come back and shoot it. And then just timing. It was like, they tried so hard to work with my schedule. I tried, and the production that I was on tried really hard to make it happen for me. And it just like, funnily enough, the Budapest to LA flight is a little longer and a little more complicated because there's also no direct flights or anything like that. So it's like you need like a 5-day turnaround window, and it just like I know it didn't pan out. But I'm begging Sam. I'm like, Sam, let's open a Hungarian branch. There's a lot of Hungarian language comedy.
In Toronto, you can have a Hungarian studio. I feel like
Sam, I'll run it. And somehow that seemed like maybe it was unsweetening the pitch for him. And I was like, that's crazy. That's so weird. I'm offering to run your Hungarian language dropout studio. And he just wasn't interested in it in a way that I think is kind of messed up.
Dropout grows in weird ways.
Yeah.
Dropout decides their business decision, and I feel like that's a no-brainer.
It was in mysterious ways. I don't know.
But this show, the Dropout Improv show, you guys are taking on the road to bring it back to Just for Laughs for a second. I feel like the threads of very important people, the threads of Make Some Noise, like all of that you feel in the show that you guys have been touring. And this is your third Canadian city, I think you've brought it to, Montreal, Vancouver, and now Toronto. Do you feel any difference performing this for a Canadian audience versus American audiences? Like, is there something palpable in that distinction?
It's like, honestly, it's like kind of, when, did you do sports? Do you perform like outside of doing, like, did you do, I'm sorry to be like, you were a theater kid, but you were a theater kid.
Oh, I was an improv team captain. Oh yeah. I
was like, I didn't know how to say that in a way that like didn't feel, but I think the pendulum has gone back, but that's no longer like a thing that's like looked down on. But I was like, I saw you message that you did theater, but I also wanted to ask, so I'll ask, did you do theater?
Yeah, and you know what? You're right to ask it. You really are.
Yeah, I didn't want to assume, even though I kind of knew already. But it's like that thing of like when you have like your friends and family in the audience, and you're like, oh, I just, I wanna make them proud, and that's how I feel in the Canadian cities. Is I'm really just like, I think it's one of like the badges of honor of getting to be in this like club of just wanting to make sure that like I'm doing my communities proud is like my biggest feeling on that, honestly.
Yeah. And how did it feel to bring it to Vancouver? Because I know that that's even closer to a hometown show than maybe Toronto might feel, or maybe I'm wrong about that. And Toronto's feeling
it's like
close to home.
Vancouver is, even though Toronto is like where I feel it's like where I live the longest, and it's where I feel is like home. Vancouver is certainly where I started a lot of my comedy, and so like I think like the stakes feel higher with like the performances because I know that comedy community really well, and I know a lot of the people in that comedy community really well, and so I'm a little bit more like, I'm a little bit more worried about what they'll think about the technical side of it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I booked that show literally right. It was like, I think it was like 2 or 3 weeks after I left for Hungary, so I didn't end up getting to go to that show. But Kurt sent a video of the crowd saying, "We love you, Vic," which literally made me burst into tears.
Oh no, that's like too soon. That's too soon and too close to the heart. Maybe that's
it was like
cruel,
a perfect
actually.
amount of time where I'd been gone for like 3 weeks, and it had just been like, oh, I live in Hungary now, and then all of a sudden I'm getting this video of all of my friends on stage and a bunch of people that I knew that I'd like gotten tickets for who I knew were in the audience, and I was like, okay, well, great, perfect.
That's so cruel. So you get to redeem yourself with Toronto show tomorrow night. And I was going to say tickets are still on sale, but then I went to see how many tickets were still up, and I watched it go down to 1 ticket left. So I think by the time this is out, maybe one person will decide to go by themselves and sell at the show.
I hope so. Do it.
Really.
We'll all give you a hug.
That'd be great. There it is. If you buy the last ticket to Dropout Improv, Vic will find you in the audience.
Yeah.
That's it.
I love that. I'll be in the audience
Perfect.
for sure. So
And that's a guarantee. I'm excited to see you in the comments, and I'll see you on the next episode of Late Night Scrolling. Bye, y'all.